It's time for Around the Ozarks News, brought to you by the Springfield-Greene County Park Board, Blue Current, and Thompson Sales. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Morning to you. Here we are on Wednesday. Good to see you. Thanks for being with us, whether you're watching or listening. We appreciate you, and we do have some news to tell you about.
A former YMCA employee is in trouble again for child molestation. These are new charges after the abuse first came to light in 2016, and this was an incident from that same time frame. But now a second person has come forward accusing Joseph Barlow Presley, who's now 31, of abusing him years ago. Presley was still on parole for the 2016 conviction. The new victim said he remembered the abuse happening at a workout facility around 2014 when he was a young boy in the childcare area. After an investigation again, Presley is facing these new charges. The remains of a man missing since 2020 have been identified. The remains of 25-year-old Ira Briscoe from West Plains were found in August of last year. This week, forensic tests confirm that the skeletal remains were, in fact, Ira. More remains are being tested and could be possibly those of Ira's roommate, who also disappeared in 2020. I remember that story well. I covered that.
That's an odd case for sure.
It was odd, and it was way out in almost like near Koshkonong, if I remember correctly. But it was terribly sad for the families of those involved.
Right. Branson's Herschend family is expanding its holdings of entertainment venues across the country. It just agreed to buy all of Palace Entertainment's U.S. properties. Palace Entertainment has more than 20 family entertainment venues in 10 states, many of them amusement parks and water parks. So the Herschends are creating an empire.
Mm-hmm.
An entertainment.
I like it. A fun one, you know?
An empire. Yeah.
Yeah.
A fun one. So congratulations to them. In Springfield, the Jefferson Avenue footbridge will be raised an extra 3 or 4 feet to better allow clearance for trains on the tracks below. New development, it just happened. It will now be part of the city's plans to refurbish the footbridge and make it safe for walkers again. That bridge, as you may recall, has been closed down since 2016 after it was deemed unsafe. The BNSF Railway will pay $2 million to cover most of the cost of raising the bridge. Then last summer, the city of Springfield accepted a bid of nearly $11 million to repair the Jefferson Avenue footbridge. So work will get underway. They're going to fix it, and they're going to raise it, and hopefully it should be good for another 100 years. Mm-hmm. I would hope. Former Missouri State University women's basketball coach Kelly Harper is coming back to the state of Missouri. This time she will take over the team at the University of Missouri in Columbia. She's taking that job after she was fired from her alma mater, Tennessee, at the end of the 2023-24 season after 5 seasons of coaching there. Harper was the head coach of the Lady Bears from 2013 to 2019.
Congratulations to her, though, on going to Mizzou.
Coming back, yeah.
Coming back, yeah. It seems like we see Dollar General stores kind of all over the place, especially if you drive into any small town Ozarks. The company is actually planning to close, though, almost 100 locations across the country. Dollar General also owns Pop Shelf stores. 45 of those stores will be closing down. No word yet on any local locations affected. We'll let you know when we see the list. Also, today is the day that the new Netflix documentary on the Joplin tornado is out. Today, it tells the story of the tragic day in May of 2011 when an EF5 tornado roared right through the city. 161 people were killed in the storm. That new documentary on Netflix is called The Twister Caught in the Storm.
Yeah, I've got mixed emotions about that. I'm looking forward to seeing it, but also it'll be rough because it's about the high school graduation and the kids who were involved in that. So
I wonder if they took our footage or if it's like totally their own, because I mean, we obviously both covered that so much, including the focus of their story. So I'm wondering,
Yeah, I
because
don't know.
I didn't know that I was going to be in the Gypsy Blanchard documentary. Like I wasn't aware that I was in that until I started getting, my phone was blowing up with text messages. And it's interesting because I just feel like normally you would know, but apparently not.
Well, KY3 knew. They sold the video,
Right.
Gypsy Blanchard people. So
Yeah.
but we don't work there anymore, so they didn't tell you you're going to be in it, and they
Yeah.
didn't you were going to be in it.
It was fine. I just didn't know. I was like, oh.
You obviously covered Gypsy Blanchard, but it was up to the producers and editors whether you appeared in the actual documentary. So I'm sure. Well, I'm not sure because I was thinking about this whether there will be a bunch of KY3 footage, news coverage in that documentary,
But
and
every station in the world was there, so maybe not.
well, we were there quick, but there's also stations in Joplin, and if this is the story of the high school kids and graduation, there'll be a lot of their home video, and there's a lot of surveillance video and other video of the actual tornado. So I don't know how much of the coverage after the tornado that they're going to be focused on in the documentary. I thought about that, and I thought probably not much.
Yeah,
So
you're probably right about that.
I doubt that would be in that. We'll see, though, today, in fact. If you're looking for something to do this weekend, you have some great music options available to you. First, the Ozark Lyric Opera is becoming a little bit rock and roll. Actually, a lot rock and roll. Saturday is its annual concert in which opera singers trade traditional opera music for rock and roll and even pop songs, and they sing covers of all the songs that you know. The show is highlighted by international opera superstar Michael Spires, who was named the greatest vocalist in the world not long ago, his soprano wife Tara, and his Broadway star sister Erica.
Yeah.
Opera Rocks is Saturday night, 7:30 at the Gilloys. And did we talk about this on the podcast that he came to Convoy?
No, I don't think we talked about it on the podcast, but it's funny because I have like a connection to Michael Spires because I work some with his father-in-law. Wait,
right?
Yeah, father-in-law. I was gonna say father, but it'd be father-in-law. So it's
father.
just funny that his wife's dad. It's funny that you met him and now he's like hometown boy. I mean, a lot of the people in the Ozarks would know his name, but what a cool gig and cool family he has.
Well, he came over to Convoy of Hope. I guess it was last week, early in the week. I was going to post it on Facebook, but then the tornadoes happened and it just didn't. It wasn't the right time to do that. But he came and I was showing him around Convoy, and there he's from the Ozarks. He's not here much because he's traveling literally the world, performing opera. He's in Vienna now, or after this concert in Springfield, I think, doing another opera. I mean, the guy's incredible. His whole family's incredibly talented. But he got on the third floor of Convoy of Hope. We called all of our team members into the big atrium that we have there, and he just sang a cappella opera for about 5 minutes. He did 2 different songs.
Cool.
One of them was Figaro, which is super fun. It reminds me of the Bugs Bunny cartoon. Right. So I showed you and the kids him doing that. I was recording him like 2 feet away. It's crazy. So we did that just right without even any warm up. He just, our president of the organization said, could you sing for the crowd real fast or just our employees? And he's like, yeah, I can. I talked to his wife. I was like, Tara, does he need to go warm? I don't want to break his voice. Does he need to go warm up in a room or something? She's like, he's good. And he was unbelievable. So cool.
What cracks me up about that is I'm glad that Hal Donaldson asked him to do it. I feel like sometimes people are hesitant to ask people to do something in the profession.
Yes.
Joe Rogan pointed this out on his podcast the other day, and I was like, yes, like where he was like, I don't need to prepare for what I do. There's no preparation needed. Like, yes, I can sing opera. I've been doing it for 30 years or what, like, you know what I'm saying? So I like that Hal was not afraid to ask the question. Some people are like, oh, I didn't know if you could like do it. I'm like, I could do that in 2 seconds, like whatever it whatever we do,
Well,
talk.
of course he can do it, but I
Introduce
was
somebody.
worried about.
Sarah, can you introduce so-and-so? I know you don't know them or have their biography. I'm like, no, give me like 2 cool things about them. Yeah, I'm ready.
Right.
Like, yeah. Good for
Well,
Hal.
whenever Hal asked, I was nervous about it because I was like, I don't know if this guy, I don't know what kind of warm up is typically included in his day. Does he need hot tea? He's got it's not a delicate voice, but it's an important voice. You don't want to break it.
Right. Yeah.
But he was great. He was unbelievable. I'll maybe in the next couple of days, I'll post the video of him singing at Convoy of Hope.
Yeah.
And you'll all be blown away.
He's very good.
And a great guy and a great family.
Yeah. Okay. Finally, we have this on Saturday. Winter Jam is happening at the Great Southern Bank Arena on the campus of Missouri State University. That is a contemporary Christian music concert that travels around the country, and Springfield is one of the stops. There will be Skillet, Ann Wilson, Colton Dixon, Micah Tyler, New Song, KB, several others as well. So lots of flavors of music there, but all of it contemporary Christian. Tickets are available at the door, $15 cash, on Saturday at 6 p.m.
Yeah, that's an interesting concert because it's only $15 and you have to get your ticket right there at the door.
Yeah.
You don't get them ahead of time. You don't have a sign.
And is it cash only? I know that at one point it was cash only, but surely in 2025 they take cards.
I think it's cash or check. I don't think they're doing cards.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know, honestly, but
it speeds it up.
It's
if you're not doing
2025
cards.
and all. So yeah. I thought maybe.
I don't think so.
Look it up. Look it up. If you're headed that way, make sure you are prepared. Or you could, if you were married to Ethan, you would be prepared because he's always prepared with cash. I'm never prepared with cash.
Of course.
And then I get the lecture because he tells me to be. He tells me to be, and I don't listen, I guess.
Well, that's correct. And just like you don't need to tell the audience to look it up. I'm telling you right now, just take cash.
Okay. But what if they take card and they're like me and they don't really want to go to the ATM?
You don't have any cash in the house that you don't have a stash of cash at your house, people, that you can go get whenever you need it.
Do we have a stash of cash in the house? What?
Yes, I have a stash of cash. You don't know about it because I can't trust you with it.
What in the world?
Yeah.
So that's where you pull from when I ask you for cash?
It doesn't come out of nowhere. Where do you think I'm pulling it out of?
I thought it was just in your wallet. I thought you just had a 20 on you.
Well, sometimes I do, but sometimes you need more than a 20. I got to go somewhere in the house. Can't tell you where. Because I'm going to show up at my stash and it's going to be empty. That's what's going to happen. I needed it. I didn't replenish it, but I needed it. I'm no dummy.
I know. I do know that to be true. I believe that about you. I believe
That's
that.
the reason I have a stash of cash is because you don't know about it. That's the reason it exists.
Oh, man.
And I can count on it. I can count on it actually being there when I need it.
All right. Anything else? Do you have anything else, sir?
March Madness starts tomorrow. And I, for one, cannot wait.
Yep. It's exciting.
It's going to be fantastic.
My team is not good, so I have less of a rooting interest, which is a problem.
Well, you made it.
I need a rooting interest in life. This is what I've learned about myself. Like, I don't love March Madness unless I have like a strong connection, to one of the teams.
I love the game of basketball, and your team is in it, just not for long.
Exactly.
My team is in it. It might last probably longer than yours, I hope. Knock on wood. Okay. Say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.
See you tomorrow.
Oh, y'all have a good day. See you tomorrow.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by John's Heating and Air, Command Family Medicine, and Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everybody. We are waking up on this beautiful Wednesday with temperatures near 60 degrees, but this is about the warmest it's going to be all day. Today, one of those wacky spring days where we have temperatures warmer in the morning than what we're going to experience this afternoon. Yeah, much colder air arriving through the course of the day. So don't be fooled by the warm temperatures this morning. You need a coat today. It's going to be dropping temperatures and wind to head through the afternoon. There's also going to be some rainfall. And yes, I know you've heard about it, snowfall in the Ozarks as we head into this evening. So a lot to get to today. A very active Wednesday across the Ozarks with wind, rain, and fire danger headlining this forecast. So a little bit of everything across the region. We will see this frontal boundary push through the Ozarks today. It's going to bring dropping temperatures with it. So afternoon numbers are actually going to be more like the 50s instead of the 60s that we have this morning. And they won't even feel that warm because when you put a wind gusting to 40 miles an hour on top of those temperatures in the 50s, it just doesn't feel too pleasant at all. Get outdoors this morning if you just have to get that walk outside. It's still going to be breezy this morning, but the chance for rain moves in early in the day today. We will see light rain showers, blowing wind, and wind is going to be very strong. We are talking about advisories for that wind again across the Ozarks today. Our rainfall will change to snowfall as cold temperatures continue to plunge into the Ozarks, and it's not entirely out of the question that we see a little bit of accumulation. There may be some accumulation on grassy surfaces across the region. I am expecting that a few places could see close to an inch, but again, I think that's going to be isolated to the grass and primarily up in our far northwestern counties along and north of I-44 is where those minor accumulations on grassy surfaces are expected. I am not expecting much of an impact at all on the roadways. Winds will be the bigger story on the roads, and I think they will be so strong that, yes, they could impact travel. Winds gusting to 40, but easily we could have a 55-mile-an-hour gust. That means that travel may become difficult, especially for those high-profile vehicles. Loose objects may blow around. Winds can break small branches in this type of gust. I expect, too, that we're going to have the cooler temperatures stick around. Thursday, springtime officially begins in the Ozarks, but it will be one of the cooler days of the week, actually, with highs falling to the 50s and sunshine in the forecast again by Thursday. So today, don't get used to the 60s. We'll spend most of the day in the low 50s. Gusty winds, and then rain changes over to snowfall tonight. It will still be windy as that snow is falling, so really just not a nice night to be out and about. It does look better tomorrow in terms of the breeze, but high fire danger exists in the Ozarks both Thursday and Friday. Breezy again on Friday with highs jumping back into the mid 60s. And then it does appear that we have a nice day in the forecast as we head into Saturday. Around the country, what's making headlines? Well, we're not the only ones getting snow. There's heavy snow and blizzard conditions today for portions of the Central Plains and much of the Midwest. Critical fire danger also exists, as well as high winds for portions of the Southern Plains. And then we've got cool and unsettled weather for much of the West. So it is active all across the country today, and it will definitely be our most active day, at least of the work week forecast. All right, it's time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister trivia question for the day. How many days on average do we see high temperatures above 70 degrees in the month of March? Clarified yesterday that this is for Springfield, Missouri. And the answer is 0. In fact, 70 does not show up on our daily climatology at all. So this has been an unusual month so far, the month of March. We've had several warm days with numbers in the 70s, even 80s in the forecast when we had those record-setting days just last week. So it's been a warm month overall so far. It's a different story starting today with the snowfall in the forecast. March, always a wild month. All right, here's kind of a wild question for you for tomorrow. This is the brain twister trivia question. Do you know it? This marsupial is the only animal in the world to poop in cubes. I apologize for this question. The only marsupial in the world to poop in cubes. Any guesses? Your options are A, a possum, B, a wombat, C, a koala, or D, a Tasmanian devil. You can let me know if you have a guess to that one. That's at aroundtheozarks.com. Thank you so much for listening this morning. And thanks to our sponsors, John's Heating and Air, Command Family Medicine, and Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet. Have a great rest of your day. Stay safe in the wind, rain, and snow, and I will chat with you again early tomorrow.